But that is actually would allow the American people to see how they getting screwed. Because I think when American people will see what they get in charge and how much it's really cost, and I think people will be very, very pissed off. And I think they're afraid of that because Americans being really, just generally screwed by large healthcare cartels,
Sure.
insurance, PBMs, hospitals. And that was the challenge is. And I think the price transparency will show the people what really the cost, and what is really the price of healthcare should be and not what we are paying. And if you look at all of the money they're making on us, this is just something the federal government subsidizing. How many, what their CEOs are making that we're giving them, but people losing benefits, going bankrupt. 1 in 7 Americans insolvent on medical debt, destroying people opportunities, people not getting the right healthcare services. We have some of the worst outcomes from developed countries. Some of them spend more money than anyone else per person, but has the worst outcomes. They're just not acceptable. I think this has to be fixed. It's one of the biggest things. And I'll be working with his administration and people. He has some good people on his team that care about this issue to make sure that executive orders get implemented. And it maybe will help us then to move the needle when American people see that and get really pissed off what's really happening, maybe move the needle to start draining the swamp.
They made some really good choices with the administration officials that are in there, and they're working with great people up on Capitol Hill, like yourself, Congresswoman. Listen, always a pleasure when we catch up with you. We don't have you on the show enough, but whenever we can, it's such a good piece for our listenership to kind of really understand what's going on in between all the narratives that you get in the drive-by headlines you see on cable news. You shoot straight. That's why we absolutely love you and support you here on the show. We've got everything live linked in our show description, including a link to your congressional website. They can check out your newsletter, all the great work you're doing up on Capitol Hill and in District. Where can we find you on social media? We'll live link that as well.
It's at the Rep Spartz, SPARTZ, and it's, you can always we update you, but always sign up to my newsletter too. And, I'm in the trenches on a lot of these issues, and we have to be all in the trenches. Messaging doesn't matter. You have to be in the trenches, and that's what president does. He goes in the trenches to deal with issues, to understand what's happening and start resolving them.